keeping Bitcoin allows you to benefit from the debasing of every other currency, right? So that is really, to me, I see it as savings in essence. So where we saw that a lot of people had a hard time was just keeping the Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is your highest and most liquid asset in a lot of markets. So by virtue of that, whenever you have a crunch, it's the first one through the chopping block, because there's the best one, the only one you can sell. What we do is, for people that have worked very hard to earn a little bit of Bitcoin and they don't want to sell it because they have very high expectations of the future price, they can place that Bitcoin as collateral and take a dollar loan. And the way that works is if your Bitcoin keeps rising in price, that's all yours to keep. Same.
And that's fiat you get.
And you get fiat.
USD.
Yeah, you get dollars, US dollars or Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
And essentially you have your loan commitment in dollars. You can use your dollars.
So if I'm in Venezuela right now or anywhere in Latin and Mexico, I know you guys are working there too. It's like I log in.
Yep.
I can put up my Bitcoin.
Yep.
Whatever collateral 3 to 1.
Yep.
Let's say I put $1,000 of Bitcoin. That means I can take $300 of CAD or USD.
Yeah. 500. We do 50%.
Oh, 50%. Yeah. Okay. So I take 50%. So I take $500. That goes directly to my bank account in Mexico?
Yes. Where you want. So
any bank account that I own?
Yes. It has to be your name. It can be in any country.
Yeah, but I control it.
Yeah. And some people, we've had some clients that actually don't have USD accounts in Venezuela, precisely.
Yeah.
And they want to receive it. The rails they want to use to get the funds is Bitcoin, even though the loan is in dollars. But
okay, so they're putting up Bitcoin to get Bitcoin.
Correct. They're putting up Bitcoin to get dollars, but the way they can get those dollars the easiest.
It's kind of like fucking what Dai was doing with like ETH, going long on Bitcoin.
Well, something similar, exactly. So in essence, on first glance, you can see it as you're going super long. But what these guys are doing is they're converting the Bitcoin once it hits their wallet again, and they're going back to their local account.
It makes sense, yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense. So we started, and so a lot of people are demanding stable coins.
So they're paying though back in Bitcoin since they can't send. So they're putting in Bitcoin.
Yes.
Sending them Bitcoin.
Yes.
Then for them to pay back the loan, they're paying back in Bitcoin.
Correct. Yes. And so what this has done is that it helps people. So for example, I had a guy. I'll give you. I can't really give you the exact name, but like I've had so many people reach out and be like, "This is amazing. I wanted to buy another mining computer, but I didn't want to sell my Bitcoin. Now I'm going to get a loan and I just bought it."
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Another guy was like, "I really wanted to start a music festival of all things." Like I never expected that answer, but he said, with my $5,000 whatever loan, I started work on my first music festival. Like they're just coming out. This is incredible. Like I want to share this news with you guys. And we're excited. Like these people are, again, in Mexico, Venezuela.
Get that guy on video, bro, the testimony.
Well, I will. They're actually getting interviewed. So we had two media publications. I'll share the articles when they come out, but they're actually interviewing a lot of our clients.
Good.
Because they're excited about some of these stories. It's been amazing. Like, honestly. And it was great because in Canada, it's been amazing to see the difference of reactions when you present the product in these two different markets. Because in Canada, people can, not everyone, but a lot of people can get a mortgage for like 3%, 2%. Now they're going into like negatives. Banks are now soon going to pay you to freaking...
They're going to pay you.
Take out a mortgage. But let's keep that aside and let's say OECD countries have relatively great access to credit.
Yeah. I want to use my Bitcoin for a mortgage on commercial real estate.
Well, you can with us. Well, with these guys, essentially in Venezuela, and what you're seeing is, when you're in Canada and you're saying, okay, here's the option for a Bitcoin-backed loan. This is what you use. This is what it's good for. This is how it works. And it's great and it's amazing and people use it. But it's not like, oh my God, you solved every problem, like blah, 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 because people have relatively good access to debt. So they compare us to, say, a line of credit or a credit card or things like...
Because your interest rate's pretty cheap.
We pay 1% a month.
Yeah.
And we have a 2% admin fee, but a 1% per month and charged daily. So the day you pay back, that's the day you pay to. So in Mexico, to give you some context, what do you think the interest rate is in Mexico for a mortgage?
Fuck, at least 14%.
Spot on.
Yeah. So
14% for a mortgage in Mexico. And anyone that's applied for credit outside of the OECD countries knows that it's not always about what's the headline.
Of course
it's
not.
Nobody
People
qualifies.
Forget, man, like 1989, 91, 92, 93, it was 19.5.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah. My dad actually ended up once paid 88% for a commercial loan in Venezuela.
How long?
I think this was in like late 80s.
88%.
Yeah. Well, this is rates in Venezuela, right? So in Mexico, when we presented our products,
That's crazy.
people were like, I've been at conferences here in Canada, and I've been on the booth and presented our stuff, and people were like, oh wow,
Mexico's your prime target, man.
dude. So we knew that we've been working on Mexico for a long time. So we got to Mexico, and
I gotta hook you up on my boys in Guadalajara.
Oh, let's do it, man. I'm actually going to Mexico in November.
Cool.
So we show up in Mexico, we start presenting a product, and people are like coming in like with these shock faces, right? They're like, oh my God, what, really? And we're like, yeah, like, right. I'm like a little bit like, I was like, I didn't know if they were like, what, they were sticker shocked or what. And then the guys were like coming at me and being like, seriously, like, what's the catch?
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? It's like 1% a month for dollar debt.
Yeah.
What? No one's going to qualify. Like, what do I need to qualify? Nothing, bro. All you need is Bitcoin.
Yeah, you got collateral. It's there.
And they're like, and what? And I'm like, no, that's it. It's like, Bitcoin, you give me your bank account, I'll send you the money. He's like, He's like, no. And I was like, no. He's like, for 1% a month? And I was like, yeah, we have a 2% admin fee. So the whole thing, if you keep it for a whole year, is 14%. He was like, that's amazing. Like, it was just like, everybody was like, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you guys. Like, I can't believe you're bringing this price debt. Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we've raised funds from Canadian investors, and our job is essentially to treat a Bitcoin-backed loan from Canada as the same. Like, I have the same collateral. I issue the same money. Why am I going to charge them a different money?
Exactly.
Right? Like, and I think that's the biggest thing about what excites me the most about what we do, is that Bitcoin now is a fully globally liquid asset. And this is going to change materially. We haven't really seen the tip of the iceberg on this. Like in Venice, like in countries like Argentina, you got $100,000 10 years ago. You would probably put it in like a house or a car or this. Now you get $100,000. Where are you going to put it? All in Argentina. You're not going to put a little bit into Bitcoin.
You're going to put it outside of Argentina.
And so I think that this is going to be a big impact. And we love the fact that our product is able to essentially help people hold Bitcoin when they want to. And that's essentially it. So in Venezuela, like, I'm very happy. It's a market that we're very focused on. Mexico, Argentina, actually, everything that's happening there is opening a lot of doors. We're getting a lot of applications from there.
Good.
Mexico is actually growing, sadly. Again, I say sadly because when we have a growing Bitcoin market, usually something's going badly somewhere else. But essentially, they're great markets, and I think that people need this kind of service to be able to see the true benefit of holding Bitcoin long term.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's in a nutshell. What I'm very excited about that, going back to where we're from, essentially.